man get the promotion and you still stuck in your same place. You see, and I understand that time gets aggravating. You see, this text reveals to us the trouble and the aggravation of time. But watch this, 3 verses earlier. This man has an encounter with Jesus and is asked, wilt thou be made whole? The man responds rationally. Now understand him. I have no one to put me in the pool, and when I go to get in, someone else beats me to it. Now before you become his worst critic tonight, it is necessary that you and I understand the nature of this man's defense. He is not lazy. He's made several attempts to get in the pool. But each time he makes an attempt, somebody else beats him. You see, the problem is, it was their time and not his. He could not get upset. He could not get frustrated because time had not yet extended her scepter unto him to come into the place of manifestation. You see, it is the place where we all get frustrated. Yes, it is. Waiting on time. You see, you've had to watch others pass you who began after you. It was just their time. You had to watch others, as I forestated, who you train go around you and get higher pay and high promotions. Well, it was just their time. And you see, platforms you surrendered to others, doctor, and now they're living a life that you know you were supposed to have. It was just their time. Shopping in places that you ought to be shopping in. It was just their time. But somebody shout, but I am so grateful for verse 9. Verse 9 begins with an interesting turn in the man's story. I'm preaching now. The connecting conjunction is added and. The word and means in addition to, the tie or connector between cause and effect. It is as a result. In order for and to be effective in its use, it must embrace what has happened before and then connect what has to happen after. You see, the writer carefully, it's not a blimpy, it is an intentional plea of the writer to insert the word and in verse 9. Because and displays, it first of all, connects to itself what proceeds. 38 years of waiting. I told you that in order for and to be effective in a verse, it must first connect what precedes it. And after it connects what precedes it, it stands in between to connect what proceeds it. And so what else is happening in the text? And so tonight, I come to tell you tonight, just like the writer, that you have to embrace what has happened to your life to this point. You can't get bitter, you can't get frustrated, you can't get mad with the world. Everything that happened to you to this point in your life, it was intentional. It wasn't the devil, it wasn't his demons, it wasn't warfare. I know we're going up in spiritual warfare and tearing out every demon in hell, but let me tell you something, baby. It wasn't the devil, it was time. Oh, y'all missing this side. Okay. And so listen, in order to embrace what's about to go on in your life, you have to embrace what has happened, the good and the bad, leaving nothing behind. Because what God is about to do, God's about to insert an and in your life. God's about to insert a conjunction in your life. And all the hell that you've been going through, all of the pain that you've been going through in your life, all of the frustration and aggravation, all of the misery, all of the, y'all don't hear me tonight, is about to be connected with and. Now I'm about to show you this, because what is and connected to? If and connects, then 38 years of waiting must be connected to something. And so the text yields that his life transitions from delay to immediate. Watch this now. The word immediate is from the Greek parak, rima. The word parak means to share relationship, and krima means business. In other words, God's get regard when you see the word immediate. God's get relational with your business. God help me tonight. the church, God said, you're getting ready to move from the latent into an immediate season. I know you've been waiting. I know you've been praying and fasting, but not to go, believing God for a change and still seeing no change. Believing God for a miracle and still seeing no miracle. But I heard the songwriter say, delay is not denied. It just wasn't your time. But give somebody a high five and say, neighbor, the season change is my word is declared over your life. The word is only declaring what is, but has not yet been manifested in the realm of time.
Right.
So what happens is, when you were created, your spirit man was given a genetic identity that contained all that you are ever to be spiritually. He is eternal. But what happens is, the word within your spirit cannot manifest until it meets the law of time. You see, time was created at the fall as a method to bring death and the ultimate punishment of sin. The trouble with time is its laws are made to constrain, to tame, and lead to death. And the war begins because your spirit man wants you to live so that what is in it can come into fruition. But the trouble with the two alone is that they have two totally different results. And the both of them wage for territory. What are you talking about? Your soul and your spirit. You don't even have to worry about the flesh, because the flesh is just a carcass. It will be controlled by whatever is dominating your life at the time. So if your soulish nature is dominating, then your flesh will be controlled by your soul. It's just a mummy. It's just a puppet. It's just a robot. It does what you tell it to do. But the domineering factors in your life are your soul, your suke, and your spirit, which is your pneuma. Now, whichever is dominating your life at the time will affect what happens to you in that particular season. I'm going to bring it to you. So your soul is controlled by the law of time, because it was given to give you existence in time. It wasn't given for eternity. Y'all get it right now. It wasn't given for eternity, because the spirit man is eternal, but the soul was given to give you breath while you exist in the earth. And so what sustains you in the earth realm of time is your soul. Watch this now. The conflict is because your soul is controlled by time, it can only bring it to you in time. But because your spirit man is eternal, your spirit man is controlled by the realm of the eternal. So what God does, he says, I will not violate any law. I will not violate any law I permitted, which is the law of time. And I sure enough ain't going to deny the law that I fixed myself, which is the law of eternity. And so the trouble is, your spirit man has the identity, but your flesh is controlled by your soulish nature, your thought, your will, and your intellect. Now what confuses the enemy, watch this here, because your flesh is controlled and subject to time, and so is your soul. That means that every day we're dying. God, I'm about to go somewhere.